Yo, yo, yo! We're back. GT4 Cup. The rerun of round number 5. So the now Cup final. So after round 8, it's round 5. So we have to redo it. The original date, we had a PlayStation Network issue, couldn't run the race, unfortunately. So that's why we're here. Then today, for that final race of the GT4 Cup, part of the GT driver career. And let's have a look at the current championship standings. So 7 out of 8 rounds in the bag. And Sluxy in the lead. He should have that title usually, so it's 63 points for a victory, pole position and fastest lap. Still he has 50 points plus, so hard to take that away from him. B Racing P2 also has that spot already secured. We'll see. P3, Richie Oscar could get close between those two, and then also very close gaps between the next couple of drivers. So hopefully we get some close racing once again here, and we are about to start the qualifying session now. As always, it will be 10 minutes, 30 liters initial fuel times 1 tire wear and fuel consumption here at Road Atlanta. Lovely sunrise weather, some clouds, stunning visuals are to be expected. And then after that qualifying, it will be the final race of the GT4 Cup, 50 minutes. And we'll get to the race details later. So then, let's start the qualifying session. And boom. Usual stuff. Prepare the spectate mode, and then who left the pits early? That is Blasi running in the Supra again today. So racing softs for the qualifying, no surprise, of course. Sluxy, championship leader, right behind Oscar in the Nissan Silvia. Richie in the NSX as well, out on track. Nick Alfa Romeo for CP Racing in the Ferrari 458. 710 Cat Dodge Viper. It is the Husky McLaren 650S. Neighbor in the Jag. So we had Black Seal, Lexus RCF, Mist Stu in that Porsche Cayman GT4, and then we have Beetlejuice running the Aston Martin today. So Blasi already comes around the final turn and starts lap number 1 into the fast right-hander. So easy to run wide, and then Mead and Barry are on the left-hand side into the blind chicane uphill, right, left, also easy to pick up a penalty. Into the S's we go. Downhill you can cut quite with the grass, then a left-hander, don't run too wide, stay within the yellow lines and with all 4 tires. This next right-hander important for the long back straight. Carry the speed out of it. And now let's go, go, go. See that penalty zone sitting right in between that long straight. So you want to avoid definitely collecting penalties. And down we go into that chicane, heavy braking zone. Good overtaking opportunity. Uphill we go, right-hander. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle, nothing major though. Through the final couple of turns. And then we have the first reference, a 1:26.9. Oscar with a 25.6, smashing that lap. So far there's Nick, 26.6 B Racing. Tops Oscar with a 25.63. Slugs with a 27.2. Easy out lap, the first time lap. P3 currently 2 goes to the Husky, 26.3. Not for long, it is Neighbor in the Jag who gets up into second row and takes that provisional P3. As always, 8, 5 and 3 points for the top 3 in qualifying. So definitely something you want to have a look at. Beetlejuice at 25.5 takes provisional pole. He racing up on his personal best. Could be a new fastest lap incoming. We see Oscar improving to a 25.1. Slugsy 25.7 up to P4. We stay with B. 25.4. It is P2 for now. So Oscar with that 25.175. Richie also with a 25 moves up to P5. So 5 cars with that 1:25 so far. Neighbor though close, a 26.0 currently. P6 then Husky couldn't improve on that second lap. P7 Blasny 27.3 last time around, pushing too much, got a penalty. I expect him to move into the 1:25s as well. Halfway through that qualifying session, so still some time left for the drivers to improve. So definitely some improvement happening. Nearly half a second. Getting close to that 1:25 barrier. Gets a good final sector as well, 25.6. It is P4. Slugsy did improve a little bit, 25.7, but stays in P5. B Racing improving to a 25.3. It's P3. Beetlejuice tiny bit quicker with that 25.308. See Oscar, no, he's 7/10 down. Couldn't improve on that lap. And let's run with our championship leader. Bit of traffic on that back straight. And as always, Windows Update wants to have a look a go. No, I don't want to start now. me alone. .6. It is P4, improving lap by lap. B racing into the front row with that .2. Richie trying to go for a new run. Currently sitting in P6. Lazzy P5, Nick at 26.053, P7, Neighbother. That first flying lap was quickest so far. So Husky in P9, 7.10 cap, in P10, 26.7. Until Stu 27.1 with less than 2 minutes to go, and Black Seal 27.5. So now it's money time. Oscar pushing a bit too much on those previous laps. Will that 25.175 be enough for pole position? E-Racing comes round. No improvement. What about Sluxy? No, 28. It's the final lap now for most of our drivers. Lazzy, that's the end. Best he can get will be P5. Wait for the split sector time. I see already down 1.3, but Beetlejuice will get one more shot. The two rivals in the championship, Sluxy and B Racing, close on track now on their final lap. Slight improvement. Needs to find 3/10. That might be a little bit too much, I think. I never know. Maybe a great final. Improved P4. B Racing stays in P2. Oscar kept that P1. Now, and what about Richie? Can he jump a Blasi? 25.6. Oh, it's really close. He did improve and nearly got Blasi. So Nick with a penalty won't be improving. Neighbor finished. And in P7, Husky finished as well. With Stu on that final lap of his qualifying. Close, but couldn't improve. 7.10 captain starting in P11. Probably Black Seal crosses the line. And this is the end of the qualifying session. And we can wait for the timer to finish and then grab those results. Yeah, you weren't the only one, neighbor, so there were quite a few drivers that were pushing the limits and maybe also a bit too much, but that's what qualifying is there for. You like try and get the most out of it. So let's just screenshot the results as always. Quickly go through them. So Oscar takes pole with a 25.175. B Racing in P2 with a 25.2. Beetlejuice in third, 25.3, and starting alongside him will be Sluxy at 0.5. On the third row we have Blasi and Richie, basically the same time. Nick and Mayweather starting on row number 4 next to each other. So they were quite close over the last couple of races, at least for some parts of the race. So might have a nice little battle again between those two. Husky and Stu, row number 5, and the 6th row goes to 710 Cap and Black Seal. Right. So it's informed now. We are starting soon with the race. While we are waiting, I can show you today's settings. So time of day, it is sunrise. Weather, yeah, sunny with a couple of clouds. So very decent conditions for racing. And then the usual stuff. Like, so we have the racing softs and the racing mediums available. The racing softs are mandatory for a race. Tire wear is at times 3 50-minute race. It will be a grid start with the false start check. Damage set to light, so if you have a little bit of whoopsie, it's not the end of the race. And of course we have the track limit penalties enabled, and also the pit lane cutting penalty. So a tricky entry, and also if you're not careful on that exit, you have to turn to the right, otherwise you will get released straight over that yellow solid line at the exit and will give you a 3-second penalty. Don't want to do that, pretty sure. All right, and we can get this race underway that way around. So good luck to the drivers, and let's go. Wait for the lights. Oh, someone has a horn. That is Oscar. It's Nissan. Damn it. And we are on the way for the final race of the GT4 Cup. Nissan with a good start. Beerus going defensive. Sluxy, good acceleration in his AMG. Will he get his nose in front before the first turn? Yes, he does. Beerus P3. First turn, a little bit of contact, and someone flies over the grass. I think that was the Porsche. Stu and White. Beetlejuice P4, Blasi P5, Nick P6, Richie starting on the mediums. Lost, I think, 2 positions, or 1 position, 1 position maybe. Mayweather P8. Husky in P9, 710 Cap, P10, Black Seal, and Stu with a penalty. We might need to have a look at the replay. Probably just a little bit too late, yeah. And then nearly caught it. So it's Oscars on the softs. Sluxy on the mediums, E-Racing on the mediums, and Beetlejuice on the softs, trying to go for a move. No, backing out of it for now. Blasi on mediums in P5, Nick on the softs. And Richie on his mediums right behind. Got some decent slipstream on that back straight. So this race is sponsored by McDonald's. Nick looking, no, not going for the inside line, playing it safe. Let's get Richie's perspective. He still sees the majority of the drivers in front. 3.6 currently the gap. 2 Oscar in the lead. Really get the big draft for the not the best exit. Maybe it is Nick in the Alpha. Oh, we see once again Beetlejuice versus E-Racing, Aston Martin versus Ferrari. Who is going to brake late? Didn't quite work. Beetlejuice on the softs. More traction. And there was a tap, I think, with E-Racing. Looked a bit of lag, to be honest. Let's see, where is B? Got some damage out of that. Don't think he will be happy. But let's see, Beetlejuice lagging quite a bit. B is still in that race. It is E6. 1 second. Still the slipstream is on the medium tires, so it's good. Ooh, and then nearly lost the car. And now I think refocus. Let's see the gaps from front to back. Oscar 1.5 seconds. Sluxy in P2, Beetlejuice in P3. Then Blasi in P4 on the mediums, keeping up with the top 3. Nick also staying in that slipstream. He's on the softs. Richie, mediums. E-Racing on the mediums. 6 seconds. 6.7 it is to the lead, so all good. Neighbor 2 seconds roughly in front and behind. Husky on the mediums in the 650S. P9, 710 cap, P10 on mediums as well. Oh, a little gap to Black Seal, P11. And Stu recovering from turn 1, lap 1. Also running on the mediums. Here, right back with the racing action. The light Alfa Romeo 4C, good cornering speed, and gets a decent slipstream. Will it be enough to pull alongside before the chicane? I don't think so. Sluxy, don't know, did he serve a penalty? Lost nearly a second on that lap to Oscar with the 26.0, 26.7. No, maybe it's just the tire advantage now, or the softs now coming into play. We see Beetlejuice close that gap, just like see both hands. Blasi and Nick still close. Same should go for Richie and B. So Beetlejuice on his softs, probably hoping to get a run on Slugsy. Tire wear kicking in already after just 5 laps. So the front left seems to be the problematic tire today. Gets a nice little draft down the straight. Blasi going defensive, not allowing Nick to go for that move. Richie keeps the gap to B Racing. 7, 8 attempts. Gaps between the drivers not that big, but not close enough to see really close racing, and still struggling a little bit with the track and the car. 16 seconds already. Looks like another off track somewhere. Roughly a 1 minute 4B lap time. It's probably not the lap times you're looking at, so 26:27. This time I think Beetlejuice with the better exit onto the straight will get the strong part of the slipstream now, and if he times that perfectly, he should get the run on the SLS AMG. He's on the inside now and gets up into P2. Probably a good idea for Slugsy then to play it safe. Oh, he is on those medium tires. Nick versus Blasi is still very close, and the same goes for Richie and B Racing. Let's jump on board the Ferrari into the S's. We go less than 2/10. Better exit for Richie. B Racing still there within half a second. The crucial double right-hander. That's the gap a bit too much, I think, too big. Short shifting that car, maybe now saving a little bit of fuel. Yeah, the car has 7 gears. Which she didn't hit the apex for the final turn. Could be runnable for turn number 1. It's 1.5 tenths, so it takes a wide entry. Focusing on the exit speed uphill, not a bad idea. Ooh, something happened. Nick overtake on Blasi. There might be. Nope, not yet. Already Blasi waiting for the end of the straight. He knows that Supra way better on the top end. And also we saw B Racing is now really close, pushing, bump drafting Richie. We'll see. Blasi gets the run on that last part of the straight, 2/10. Downhill, might send it. No, waiting for it, de-racing on the inside line and gets the move done and does it. We want to have a look at the overtake. Blasi with a mistake, and then nearly great awareness, good racing between the two. That's why we have no new race situation. Oscar 3.6 in the lead. Beetlejuice in P2. The soft tire, the front left, is slowly dying on that Aston Martin. Now 12 minutes in. Sluxy P3, best of the medium runners. And Nick P4 closely followed by Blasi, who is also on those mediums. Be racing up the overtake. Tries to close that gap and get into Blasi's slipstream. Richie now losing a little bit of contact. It's a second already. They bother in 8th position. Husky on his mediums in P9, 7-10. Cap in 10th. Blackson still 11th and Stu in P12. Where's the closest? This is still intense one. Nick, Blasi, B Racing, and Richie. They of all have a slipstream, a little bit at least, with Nick and the 4C leading that chase group. Takes a wide line. Through the S's, that little 4C is flying. Half a second already, the gap. Stays at roughly half a second. He gained roughly 2/10. And Richie is staying within that 1 second range for now. Oh, that little wiggle might have cost Blasi. But he gets still a very decent exit. Gaining. This should be the run for the Toyota Supra. I think nothing Nick can do at this stage. Oh, he's defending the inside line though. No one is backing out. They go side by side through that chicane. Lovely bit of driving. Oh, nearly but well held. Blasi takes the inside. For now, Nick might have the better exit for the move into turn number 1. No, Blasi going defensive. And you don't want to go around the outside at turn number 1. We see some switchback attempts, and just like that, E-Racing joined that fight. It's 1.2, the gap to Richie, so he can focus on the cars in front of him. Pretty sure, just have a look to confirm that Beetlejuice front left is dead, so he lost that position to Sluxy. Now, and it's 2 seconds to Blasi in P4, Nick P5, B Racing P6, and Richie hanging in there at the back of this chase group. My guess is it will stay the same into the chicane. A little bit of a defensive drive on the Italian driver. No way for Nick currently, and what is B Racing's mindset now? Probably won't be taking any big risks. Maybe something happens to the other drivers. A little off-track penalty. That half second would be well enough to gain a position. Richie is fighting to stay with that group. And now the slipstream battle continues. And Nick in a very fortunate position, let's say, to have that tow from the Supra in front of him. He keeps his position. And Beetlejuice now probably going for the pit stop. Yep. Oh, that's the end of the startup. Oh, B looking to go around the outside. He got past. Nick though. Whoa. Nick again looking for a side-by-side move in the chicane. No, yes. No, backing out of it. Smart move. But let's see if we can catch that overtake. Missing again. Nick not with the best exit. B Racing says thank you, I'll go through. Oh, Richie joined that fight now. Again, so we have Blasi in the Supra, B Racing in the Ferrari 458, Nick in that Alfa Romeo 4C, and Richie Honda NSX. On to the back straight we go once again. Look at the gaps, 4, 5, 10 between the cars, 7, 2, Blasi, got a good exit. What about the gap at the front? Oscar's tires now starting to fade. I think today a soft strategy not doable. We saw that a couple of times for Oscar. It will be the final lap on the softs. Fluxy P2. Blasi and B Racing. Nick now has to defend his position. Richie right behind. Mayweather back already on. Okay, changing tires. Those mediums still look good. Nick lost the position to Richie while we were sitting in the pits. What happened? Oh, the grass! Over the grass. He avoided the spin. Good car control, but probably a little bit too greedy. Not too much speed. So easy to do. The first sector. But then let's have a look at Oscar's front left. Yes. Yeah, lost nearly 3/10 in that lap, so this should be the sign. And say, okay, that's enough 20 minutes on those softs, and let's pit for some fresh rubber. And indeed, will be the mediums, pretty sure. Soft tire is mandatory, so Sluxys needs to use them. Blasi, B Racing, and Richie all they started on the medium tire compound, so they will probably go for roughly 10 more minutes and then switch over to the softer racing compound. It's quite a long pit stop, so Oscar in P7. Nick also went into the pits and goes for another set of softs, or will it just straight? No, it's mediums. Yeah. Beetlejuice on mediums now. Oscar, it's 28 seconds, so 24 P5 with the refuel and the tire change. The Viper in P6 currently started on the mediums. 3.8 seconds the gap to us. You also started on those mediums. So the top 6, they all started the race on the mediums, so they need to use the softs at some point of this race. Let's see the gaps. 3 seconds. I think Blasi gained a little bit. B racing as well. Now having the toe. And Richie on the edge of losing that. It's very helpful toe. Oscar with the overtake. Smart driving. 710, he probably knows. He has a different strategy. So P8 for Beetlejuice. Softs to mediums now on that second stint. Nick as well, soft to mediums. Mayweather on an interesting strategy. Very looking for a 2-stop, if I'm not mistaken. Stu up to P11, Black Seal. Oh, that could be a 3-second penalty. Yikes! Indeed, I saw that just the exit of that pit lane and yeah, crossed the yellow line. Very soft tires for Black Seal in the Lexus. 3.7 now, lost 7 seconds to the leaders. Maybe you're fighting Blasi and B Racing. So the big rivals for this GT driver career season here for the World Series. It all started in the Rookies Cup, where they were fighting each other, then the Masters Cup. They also were racing together in the Touring Cars Cup, the Group 4 FFs. Blasi had a bit of a summer break, now returns, or has returned as a reserve in the GT4 Cup for a couple of races. They were also like the main contenders for the title, and now for this GT4 Cup, Sluxy joined the party, and he looks like he will be running away with it, claiming that GT4 Cup title. This is quite close still. Blasi, B Racing, and also Richie with a very good race so far. P4 staying with B and Blasi. Once again, a good run coming out of the chicane. Looks like Ferrari, yeah, that suits the car and the driver. Gaining even more now. The S's, always tricky. With that now tire wear kicking in. Ooh, a half-second penalty for Sluxy and down to 3 seconds. That gap will come down even more on this lap. Blasi also with half a second. B Racing could be looking at P2, and yeah, penalty will be served within the next couple of seconds when they approach the penalty zone. So it's 2.8, and opportunity for B Racing and maybe also Richie. Let's see. B Racing should get that position. What about Richie? Oh, he's just has to wait, I think. But yeah, 2.5 now between Sluxy and B Racing. P1, P2, Blasi in third. Richie P4, Oscar already pitted. P5, Beetlejuice also pitted. Gets past 710 cap in the Dodge, who hasn't pitted yet, but made an overtake on the Husky. Oh, he's pitting now. It could be a little bit early. We'll see. We'll see. The Husky staying out a bit longer. Nick and Nay now. Whoopsie! Here goes this battle. They were starting next to each other. Now they found each other on track again. At least for this period of the race. Pretty sure that Nick will get to the end on the tires and the fuel. Nay is too low on fuel. Has to stop again and pretty sure needs to use the softs. The gap at the front it's coming down. Is it? No, not pit stop time. 2.3, 2.4. Racing gaining a little bit. Blasi lost a little bit, maybe another penalty. I'm not sure. Richie right behind. Has to wait, be patient. Downhill, the S's, usually no room for an overtake. It's less than 3/10 now. It's roughly a second to be racing in front. Not sure, maybe they can work together. Will Richie give Blasi a little bit of a bump? That Supra is still quick. Now it's too late for a bump. Pretty sure. Blasi going defensive. But they gained some time on the Ferrari. Racing also gaining a little bit on Sluxy. Sluxy 27.5, 27.3, yeah, 2, 3 tenths gained. 0.3 as well, 0.4. So lap times very similar at this stage. .27 as well for Oscar and Beetlejuice. Husky yet to pit in P7, going for at least one more lap. Nick and Nay, it's still close, 27th for both of them as well. Stu probably waiting to get into the pits now. 30-20 minute split should be okay, I think. He's going for one more. 710 cap pitted. He wants to go for a very long stint on the softs. Black Seal as well on the softs, but will be pitting again. Looking at that fuel. At least so Sluxy now. Nope, staying out. Maybe running down that fuel. B-Racing is coming in, trying to go for the undercut. Richie got that move on Blasi. So Richie up to P2, and can we see that overtake? Blasi goes deep into the chicane, and then the inside line opens for Richie and takes that opportunity. So there's B now on the soft tire compound. Will probably stay in front of Beetlejuice. And it's just 2.3 seconds, 2.4 the gap to Oscar. So tire advantage for B Racing at the moment. Oscar is on the mediums. Shouldn't wait for too long. Maybe towards the end of that stint, those softs will be very dreadful to drive. Pretty sure. So 2.8 and Richie versus Blasi. Richie going defensive. It's probably time to pit now for all of the drivers. We'll see. Yeah, Sluxy in. Oh, Richie, one more. Blasi is in as well. So Richie going for the overcut. And getting a lead lap. B Racing gained a little bit on Oscar. Before the pit stop, Oscar had a 3-second lead over Sluxy. Sluxy now coming out of the pits. Where is Oscar? Coming through the final turn. Sluxy still on pit lane exit. Oscar round turn and he just gets in front. Oh, Sluxy drops behind B Racing as well. So the fuel, yeah, B Racing massively underfueled or Sluxy overfueled. Whatever. So Sluxy down to B4, B Racing in third. Looking at the fuel of the other drivers, this might be a fuel saver for B towards the end, so probably can't push that hard, but we will find out then towards the end of that race, of course. Blasi P6 behind Beetlejuice. He was in a fight with Richie, who will be pitting now, I reckon. It's probably everyone except for the Husky. The fuel is also very low, so pretty sure we will see the McLaren driver now visiting the pit crew and changing over to the soft tires, going for one more, so we're running as long as the fuel lasts. Race situation at the front. Oscar still leading, gap down to 1.3, so B Racing has the slipstream. Sluxy another 1.2 behind. B Racing and Sluxy on the racing softs, Oscar on the racing mediums in P4. It is Beetlejuice who is also running on the mediums, but for quite some time. Now might have to battle with Blasi at some point. Richie somehow lost massively. Let's have a look at the fuel. Yeah, so pretty sure that refueling took way too long. Oh, and Ney versus Nick. Saw Ney bother on the grass sideways. Let's see a little bit sequence of driving between the two. Ney still in front, Nick behind. Oh, a little bit of a love tap. Oh, but Nick waiting. All right, it's heating up. And Husky in for a pit stop. Now with 14 minutes to go, so 7/10 between Oscar and B. Another 1.2, 2 Sluxy, so the top three really close again. So I wanted to get this camera again a second. Good run out of the S's for Oscar in the distance Silvia. Maybe racing with a little mistake. Looks like Sluxy could close that gap. Will be racing with a penalty. Free position for Sluxy in the Mercedes AMG SLS. Up to P2. Oscar out of slipstream range. 13 minutes to go. Sluxy P2, B Racing P3. Beetlejuice versus Blasi. Mediums versus softs. Aston Martin versus Toyota. The yellow flag. It's Black Seal getting out of the way. Good run for Blasi, bringing that gap down to 2/10. Should have the advantage on the back straight. He can stay close. Better exit, soft tires still providing more grip. And now this could be the move. Waiting. Now pulling alongside. Beetlejuice didn't fight that one. He knows he's on the mediums. Blasi on those softs. And it's heating up. 7/10 just between Oscar and Sluxy. Another 9/10 to B Racing. 1, 2, 3. It's still anyone's game. Those three, Oscar with those mediums, but the closer it gets towards the end of the race, the less of an advantage the soft tires will be. One of those three most likely will win that final round. It's 4.5 to Blasi. It's the second to Beetlejuice. Ritchie gained. Like Ritchie is pushing. What happened? What happened to Neighbor? He's on the outlet, but he didn't change tires and didn't refuel. So now quite confused. Is the bug like with? But it clearly says outlap here for me, so I'm not sure. Maybe misclicked something. Ooh, I just spotted something. No! It's all going down now, hill now. And a reset for B Racing. What in God's earth happened now? That was close, but then B Racing couldn't avoid that spin, and he's onto the grass, rejoin. I think nothing Blasi can do, and then sends him over the thing, and then the game says, "No, you're cutting too much." Now this is a big setback, of course, for B. Looked at a potential win, and now drops down to P7 and a 34-second gap. He has the fastest lap of the race though, but that's an unfortunate way probably to end the season. With all that, Sluxy now leading the race, the second yellow flag. none of the front runners. It is 710 cap, I think, at a moment. So can Sluxy open up a gap? It's big enough. Before his tires will fade. It's 1.4 at the moment. We have more tire wear on Oscar's Nissan. Blasi pushing. Four seconds to Oscar. Richie just got past Beetlejuice, if I'm not mistaken. And B with fresh tires. Maybe he needed to get also a little bit fresh air or clear his mind. He's P9 now and pushing. Let's see if he can get an A in P8. 6.5 seconds for now. Husky and up to P7. The strategy so far, and Nick in P6. We had that Beetlejuice suffering with the tire wear. 6.5 minutes to go on the mediums. Could be a very tight one towards the end. Again, Aston Martin not very kind to those tires. So Richie P4, 2.5 seconds to gap to Blasi, 3 seconds to Oscar, and Oscar staying with the Sluxy 1 second roughly. So at the moment, Sluxy cannot open up that gap to have a smooth ending to the season. Oscar keeps him honest. Let's have a look down the order. So B Racing in P9, 710 cap in 10th position, Black Seal P11, and Stu in P12. Few looking good, tires looking good. Personal best as well last time around. Good to see. Gap less than a second now between Sluxy and Oscar, and under 3 seconds to Blasi. He's pushing. Let's have a look at the tires. Yeah. That's 50% plus on that front left for Sluxy. Oscar not at the same amount of tire wear on the mediums. Those softs will be tricky to drive. Blasi was pushing as well, roughly the same ballpark as Sluxy with that tire wear. Richie pitted later, slightly better tire wear, and Beetlejuice should be okay probably to survive the race in P5. It is. Oh, Oscar with a crucial mistake! And he loses that position, or even more. Down to P5 it is. Let's see once again. T1 claimed another victim. So we just carried too much speed. Yeah, understeered over the grass, and then boom! Oh, he gets engine damage as well. Oh, that's a bummer. The engine damage is fixed. Lost 16 seconds, just like that. 3.5 minutes to go. Oof, rear stepping out. I think that was the mistake Slugsy needed to have like a chill race now till the end. We will cross the line with roughly 3 minutes to go, so it's 2 more laps for Slugs. Blasi might just get those 2 laps as well. Richie probably just 2, the other 3 that way around. Yeah, 2 for Richie, maybe 3 for Slugsy and Blasi. The Beetlejuice P4. Oscar, we saw that, P5. And again, he goes too deep, repeats it, gets rid of those billboards. Giving Nick the opportunity, maybe. You see, it's 8.6 at the moment. I guess just chill. Husky in P7, the gap to Nate Butter, nearly 10 seconds. Be racing, pushing, improving on that fastest lap of the race. 2.5 seconds, so maybe you can get a P8 with 2 laps to go. Tire wear getting crucial. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's 1 minute 35, so 2 more laps now for Slugsy, 2 more laps for Blasi as well. Let's see, Richie might just get that extra lap as well. Beetlejuice could be very close, but he suddenly closed that gap, so Richie with the 28 last time round, lost a little of time. Oscar started the final lap. Will he make turn 1 this time? Take it easy, I guess. Yeah. 9 seconds to Nick on the final lap. Husky. Neighbor at a moment somewhere. OP Racing got that position. 7-10 cap in P10. Black Seal 11th and Stu. Better tire wear on that final lap. It's 4 seconds though. Nearly lost the car through the S's. Just both Slugsy and Blasi identical tire wear, fuel. Yeah, both should be fine. 2.3. Pretty obvious. Slugsy not taking any risks. Crosses the line. Start the final lap of the race. Moment for Blasi at chicane. And Richie finished P4, Beetlejuice P3. Richie low on fuel, so maybe that's why he went a bit slower. Oscar finishes in P5. Nick will come around the final turn now and gets the top 6 finish in the end. The Husky P7 finish and B Racing finishing the race in the pits. Will still be P8. Neighbor P9. 7-10 Black Seal and Stu finished the race, and Slugsy now already celebrating on that final lap. 3.7 seconds to get to Blasi. So one more time into the final sector through the chicane. And flashing his lights. Cruising around. Final turn to take a victory in the final round, and Blasi joining him on the podium in P2, with Beetlejuice completing the podium. P3 it is. Alright, an eventful race once again. And that's a nice little thumbnail for that replay. Oscar saying hello to Barry. Alright. Let's go through the race results. Luxy with the victory at final round. So will be crowned GT4 Cup champion. Blasi P2, the Supra today. Beetlejuice and Richie on that final lap where Beetlejuice just got past Richie, probably Richie too low on the fuel. Really 5. P4 for Richie, not a bad result. Oscar P5 with that massive moment twice in a row actually in turn 1. He went wide onto the grass. First one he got engine damage, and from P2 all the way down to P5. Also be racing with this very crazy lap where he was fighting for P1, then went onto the grass, and then in the end got a reset, and it's P8, but it's still P2 in the overall championships for the Dodge driver. And that's the second page. So as always, a congrats and thank you to all drivers for joining that one. Hope to see you very soon. So GT4 Cup now is in the books. The GT3 Cup will be up next on the Thursday. So I think we have 2 weeks no break, and then we will return for the GT3 Cup. Again, 8 races in GT3 cars / Group 3 cars. 60-minute races this time. On real-life tracks with weather as close as possible to the real-life forecast as well. So looking forward to that. And as always, thank you all for watching. Take care. Love you all. And see you very soon. Bye. Bye. Bye.